Ladies and gentlemen, you have once again tuned in at the right time for another great spectacle on AOR F1 Tier 1 for the 28th season, tonight from Australia. My name is Simon26 and I'm going to take you through a quick recap of what happened last time. We had a Belgium Grand Prix dry to intermediates with a safety car in between. We had Glücksbirne taking away Rising Moon's win after he has received 6 seconds of on-track penalties. Tesic was in third place. Karim inherited P5 because Jim had received a post-race penalty. And then we got Lucas Pasti, Jamie Funanana, who started from P15, and Solid Ninja Snake to close out the top 10. Thomas, Pedro, Kramer, Michael, Tobias and Shawan as well as Prof were there. Endor retired after the safety car and the big collision with Prof, who couldn't recover from that. That results in us having the following standings. Moon is ahead by 18. Glücksbirne had a poor first race after an early spin in Imola. He's now ahead into second place, has overtaken Jim Wong. Tesic stays in fourth. Karim up to P5. Jamie Max Duca, who wasn't there last time, is still ill with COVID. Lucas then passed the Maike in 10th. Funanana up into 11th. And Solid Snake is the only one with a point left. After that, everyone remains to score. Constructors World Championship, 48th. Equal and tied at the moment for Mercedes and Racing Bulls, who will be probably our main protagonist for this season. Williams 10 points behind, followed by Red Bull, McLaren on 20. Then it's a bigger gap again to single digits with Aston Martin on 9, 8 for Alpine, 6 for Sauber, 2 for Haas, and Ferrari have not scored so far. Let's head to the track, and we are here for an 18-minute qualifying session, as per usual. Just trying to finish off 17 drivers. 2, 3, yeah, okay, my notes are correct for that one. And let's go ahead and see what qualifying has installed for us tonight. We have Jim Wong currently out on the medium set. Everyone else is on the soft tire, as you would expect in a qualifying session. That consists of basically 3 runs with 3 softs available and 1 medium. We have almost everyone out as of right now. Who's the first guy that will be starting a lap? That seems to be Solid Ninja Snake, and I can see there is Richard Jamankovic, who is replacing Max Duca once again. Still wishing him the best and get well soon, Max. And there's Tesic also on the lap. Jim Wong has started and Pasti has started as well. We have entered the most tricky part on the section of track. The first sector is going to be most vital because there are 2 detection points for the DRS zones and we have 4 of them. So if you want to get out of someone's DRS, basically remove a DRS window for yourself, you want to get ahead by turn 6 basically, or 7, where the Alpine is now. So you want to be in a car that is suitable of enough downforce to get away, despite this very powerful DS zone at the back end of Sector 2. As we see the second Mercedes driver now crossing the line to finish us off with a first lap time. That's a 17.0. There's Pasti after that, who goes to a 16.6. Then there's Tesic. And after that, it's Jim Wong, who even puts it to a 16.4 on the medium tires right now. Next up is Kramer into 4th. There's another Alpine, that's Tuo Mas. Goes up to 4th, is a 10th behind his teammate, less than even. Next up is Lucas. No, that's his teammate Shaban. Over the line, 17.2. And then there was Michael starting a lap. Tobias is up to a 17.1. Then it's Lucas across the line. Goes to second. It's a 16.2 for the Aston Martin driver from France. And then Professional is starting a lap. And there's both of the V-Carbs closely behind. Let's see if they are maybe blocking each other even. Or if there's some sort of DRS train going on here for the currently 16th and 17th placed drivers. Who is coming up? Oh, they're all pitting right now, if I see that correctly. There's only Karim on an out lap. The rest is inside the pit lane. Jimong went the second time around, but on a slow lap. So there's Karim starting a lap now. Let's go to Michael, who's closing out his lap now. Kicks up with the 41 on his car across the line. 17.0, that's P8 for now. And there's Chavan. This is attempting another run here on his soft tires, which is currently very much doable in this iteration of the game. And these two V-Cups are closely racing throughout the first attempt of theirs. And there's an improvement from Prof. And now Jamie, but is closely followed by his teammate. And Glücksbirne takes P1 with a 15.5 for provisional pole with 12 minutes to go. That's at least 2 more runs for everyone. If you are in the pits right now. And Rising Moon, our current World Championship leader, is also on an out lap. Karim is next to cross the line, currently in the last sector. Had a good showing despite a lot of shenanigans throughout the race. At the best of the rest fights, and there's a 15.9. He's 0.02 of a second ahead of Jamie, and that's as you can expect, closely matched. And we will be looking at Endure and Rising Moon soon. Solid Ninja Snake has already started his second run plan before his teammate has even started his first hot lap. Let's go on board with the Mercedes into turn 1, braking at 75 meters, hugging the apex curb on the inside of turn 1 as close as you can, then move to the outside for turn 3, braking one of the remodeled corners we have seen at the start of 2022. This long as skating curb has been removed as you head for turn 4 and 5. Now there's a split for sector 1, and there is now a much wider and greater entry to the second sector that is now flat out as we approach the high speed chicane at the start of the first sector. And that's the second sector done. 43.7, lots of curb taken by the Mercedes driver, moves it in fast and even faster out of the corners. Now the remodel turn 13. Braking is very tricky here, but you can use a lot of exit curb and avoid the curb on the inside there. Now into the penultimate turn. Traction is vital here. Keep the car steady, move to the outside, and that's a very clean and exciting lap for the Mercedes driver, and that's provisional pole position on a 15.4. And shout out to Karim, let's go. From Nicolas with the same surname, so I expect you to be some sort of relative. And yes, Karim will probably have another go at it, and half a second is still much in Formula 1 terms, but nothing is impossible here, I feel. So let's see what Endure can do. Solid Snake already completed his lap. No, he's in the second sector right now, so I think that's the next car we will be seeing. And Jim has also gone to the soft tire. He was the only one on the mediums at the start of this quali. And I can see that the top left says lap and then the counting of the minutes. P11 on a 16.7 for Endure. Or reserve driver for McLaren once again. 3 times back to back. Next up is Kramer, who's currently sitting on a high 16.8 at the bottom of the leaderboard. And there's also Rejat, who hasn't set a time. Let's see what the Red Bull driver can do. It's P10. Improves by 0.3 of a second and moves to a 16.5. That's for his second effort. And there's Lucas on an outlap. Prof is currently on an outlap. There is Michael on an outlap starting now. There is Solid into the pit lane. So whatever he did on his previous attempt wasn't fast enough. Past is starting another attempt, but that seems like to me he had done a second outlap before. Mike in the first sector there. That's Toby across the line. 0.4 of an improvement, and that's a 16.667 for the German in the Ferrari. And Karim is on an outlap, as is Jamie and Glücksbirne. And there are once again, just like shadows. One is following the other closely behind. I wonder if Aston Martin thinks the same of this Racing Bull strategy. Now they've opened up a gap as Lucas is trying to push through with his lap. He's currently 0.8 behind pole position, but an improvement of 0.3 would move him up, and he does so. He is into the 1 minute 15.9s, and he is up by some places now. Moves into 3rd position. Karim is now starting his lap with 6:40 on the clock. You can still complete 2 runs if you are currently out now. There's enough time on this improved lap time for the Australian Grand Prix, with some chicanes removed, tracks being at part of the track being widened by some meters. That enables the lap times to fall, and I think it's roughly 4 to 5 seconds faster to the previous iteration, so maybe even more. Good attempt by Karim, currently 0.2 up. That would improve his position past Lucas, but only into 3rd position, because there's still something to be found on this lap. Is there someone else crossing the line right now? Chava maybe? No, into the pit lane. So we stay with Karim for now. He is over the line, and there's an improvement for him. By how much? By almost 0.3 of a second. That's a 15.6. Pasty, no, that wasn't Pasty, that was... Who's the second? Thomas. Thomas started his lap now. Where is this there on the lap? Jamie and Glücksbirne, who goes off as I watch him go around the penultimate turn. And there's Jamie over the line, and he goes into a provisional pole position. The Cup currently in P1 and P3 once again. They have had good showings in qualifying, and they will be trying to see if that is enough for pole position. Currently it's enough for provisional pole position. Rising Moon, who is currently out of sync with everyone's run plans, as he's sporting a completely white helmet for today, is currently not improving. He is 0.3, so not much slower than his previous best time. Endure is currently roughly a 10 faster. Uses all of the exits of the exit curb there as he approaches turn 13 for this lap. Very tricky section, the last section here on this track, when there is high fuel involved at the start of the race in just roughly 5 to 10 minutes time. And Endure is into P9. 5/10 improvement. And that's a low 16 for him now. Let's go carry him. Aggressive carry him. Okay. Let's see if he has more tricks up his sleeve. And Rising Moon soon into the pits. What's with Jim? There is currently 16.1 for him as well on the board. 2 Masters out of fuel as of right now. So that's not too great. Just want to check once again for the track map. Oh no, that's turn 11 now. That was the previous turn 13. Okay. Just needed to recheck. Yeah, it doesn't make sense now, does it? Where's these? Oh! Reject is out. This here is turn 7, so that doesn't add up at all with the number of turns. Yeah, no time for the Williams driver. He's currently sporting the one-shot qualifying run plan for tonight. I have absolutely no data on him, so let's see what he can do. Look at the gaps here now. P1 to P11 are below 1 second of a gap. And after that it's quite close as well. Multiple people are coming out into the first section of this track now. And I hope they all make way for the Williams driver here now. Bit conservative on the apex of turn 1. But it is his only shot. Maybe not. He hasn't enabled hot lap mode, so he's just trying to clear everyone now. I would expect them to realize that he is, or that he at least seems to be on a hot lap. And there is Charan on a lap that is invalidated, and Maike has just improved, I think, to 16.5. So yeah, probably no more running for the guy in P13 and the guy in P16. So what's going on here now? Parsi is the first to cross the line to start his final attempt. Jamie and Glücksbirne very close once again. Jimbong has retired in the pit lane. There is no improvement for the Williams driver. And he will be starting in P8 at max. And then it's close between Kramer and the Red Bull. And that is the second Williams, I think. Yes. That's hot lap enable now for Rejat. Tobias is starting a lap. There's also Tuomasu starting his final attempt. There's 6 seconds on the clock as Endure has crossed the line. And Michael is through. Charan even in it to win it. First of the final runners, it's Parsi. But he's only completing his lap. No improvement for him. Invalidation for the guy in P10. Glücksbirne, can he snatch provisional pole position away from his teammate? He is pitting, but Glücksbirne is not faster. No improvement. Next is Kramer. Invalidation. What can Prof do? Invalidation. Rising. Invalidation. Solid. No improvement. Next. Tesik. No improvement. What's happening here? Can Karim snitch it away? He cannot. He improves to 3rd place. McLaren on the 2nd row, as is the only sole remaining Ferrari, is staying in P15. And Andrew has an invalidation as well. And now only Chawan can do something about the final standings. He only improves by roughly 7/100ths of a second. And that's pole position for Jamie from the pit lane. As no one, apart from Karim, could improve on their final runs. Top 10 basically stayed the same. And only Karim went to 3rd position. And after that it was only some time improvements. And Rijat had no chance of improving on his lap time as well, so that's interesting. Yeah, that's Jamie in front of Rising Moon, as we have Karim in 3rd position, Glücksburner, Dan Lucas, Tesik in front of his US American colleague in Prof, Jim Wong, Endur, and Pasi round out the top 10. Then it's Thomas, Kramer, Mikes, Solid Ninja Snake, Tobias, Rajan, and Rijat Jamankovic. And that has worked splendidly. Great. That is very dry once again at the start of a race, but don't let it fool you. Last time out, when we raced in Belgium, it was also dry at the start. Despite its improvements to the racetrack, I'd say that it's still hard to pass here, especially if you're inside the DS train. You need some sort of advantage in terms of lap time to get past someone, especially if the guy in front of you still has DS. If you want to clear someone behind, you need to be solid in the first sector. After you hit the braking spots for turn 3, you turns 4 to 6, which is just a small amount of track needs to be covered by you fast, because after that I think I can... Oh, sorry. Turn up the game a bit here, so you can actually hear something. Let's look at tires, gaps, and the delta. There's a soft tire for Jim Wong, there's a hard for Pasti and for Rijat, and there's a medium for the rest of this field, and there's a predicted one stop once again. Yeah, I don't see anything happening really for most of these tracks in this game. Yeah, the soft just die out so fast and are barely used. I think Jamie might want to slow this down more because Endor has opened up a huge gap between him and Wong. I don't know what happened there, and maybe it wasn't on purpose. Rising Moon fucked up the parking here. So, that's a disadvantage, and everyone who will be going onto the track right now will have warmer tires than the first 8 positions because they basically rushed away with it. And there's a spin at the back, half spin for, who was that? I think Tobias. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the start of the race. Can I have a different camera, please? We go to 5 red lights. And these are out now, and the race is underway. I just can't see shit. Rising Moon is side by side with Jamie into turn 1. They are racing each other, and there's a slight tap from the V-carb. As Karim and Lucas are going side by side into turn number 3. There's more movement as Prof is demoted to 8th. Now he's currently racing there at the back of the Red Bull of Tezik, and they are trying to get these cars through the first lap, and especially the first sector that is very tricky on high fuel now after you've just completed qualifying sessions of 18 minutes. There's Tuomas who's currently under pressure from Kramer, and Jimong has moved past Karim, who's now down to 6, already lost 3 positions. And there's slotting in for the midfield before they hit the brakes for the high-speed chicane. And for the first 11 corners, the top 3 stay the same. After that it's Lucas into P5 for Jim, and there's Karim now into 6th position. There's fighting at the back. There's a spin for Vasti, who's now down to 17th. Can't really say what happened there. Jamie on the fastest lap as of right now. Lots of locking up there. Everyone is within that DRS window I was talking about earlier. Only Pasi has dropped out of it right now, and they will be trying to make moves, maybe into the high-speed chicane. And the DRS detection zone has been passed now, and there's a spin for Chavan. Now this is the DRS line, and the V-carb is closing in, but the Mercedes is side by side, and he is ahead before they hit the braking. And that's Rising Moon promoted. Chavan with a front wing damage, not as I can see. And Glücksburner has moved past Jamie into 2nd position. And Tezik has overtaken Karim in turn 11. Very odd spot to overtake, but if your opponent ahead is struggling throughout the high-speed chicane, then you are in a prime position to overtake someone into into turn 11. So that's good executed, as there is Wong showing himself in the mirrors of Lucas. McLaren's now in 7th and 9th, not what they have wanted right now. And as I said, that Endo is demoted to 11th. Mega Quali Karim, yeah, that was a good showing from him, but his race pace doesn't seem to be there, as Glücksburner now overtakes Rising Moon for first position, as Lucas is on the back of Jim. Is there an opportunity from him? Goes to the outside, side by side with the Williams. As he gets shoved a bit to the outside, and that's an opportunity to Tesic, who is now into 5th position. Well, they're still racing each other. There's now the inside line for the Red Bull. If he can stick it or don't have contact, please. And Karim can't get past these guys, and they're losing out in terms of the time to the guys ahead. Kramer is now into 9th position, moved past Thomas as they had the break-in for 10-1. And now Karim is in a freeway fight with Prof and Tesic. And Karim is ahead as of right now. Is there a chance for Prof? No, but there's a bit of a squirrely exit for Prof. As we can see, that there's a 4th position improvement for Jim, who started on the softs. 6 down for Parsi, also 3 down for Karim. Nothing to worry for the McLaren driver as of right now. And there's Rising Moon behind, Glücksbirne. These two might be onto the championship battle throughout the season, as Richard and Parsi have overtaken Michael because there's lagging going on. You can see the teleports. Yeah, as management is currently good from the Mercedes driver. He is obviously enjoying his comfortable seat behind the V-carb. But even if you charge up to overtake, just like he's doing right now in front of our eyes, you still need to get away for someone behind to not get the chance to re-overtake you into turn 9 or turn 11. As solid Ninja Snake is moving past Endo now. McLaren seems to be struggling on these tires early on. Starting phase is not their friend, as we have already cleared 4 laps of this. And solid Ninja Snake is going down after passing Endure and is into 14th. That was probably a hairy moment into turn number 5. That's still a tricky right hand side turn in the first sector. And Karim is back into P5 with a move around the outside. And Lucas is gonna see that in a high reel, as Tesic is now moving to his outside for turn 11, and this time the Red Bull gets it done. Does he? No. Still on the inside is Lucas, and he has to see that one slip by, as Jim Wong has now lost the DRS. Two Jamie in front is now vulnerable from Karim on the main straight. What's the DRS looking like? The Williams has more, but no opened rear wing flap for Jim Wong, as there's another attempt of an overtake from Tesic, who just loses out to Prof, who's trying to get immediately passed by Lucas, and he touches the rear wheel, the right rear wheel of the Aston Martin, but can keep it on the track. And Karim is now trying to pull away from Jim Wong and into the DRS zone, the DRS window of Jamie ahead, and these two are going at it once again. Glücksbirne into P1. Is there a chance for Jamie to follow his teammate through into 2nd position, as Richard has overtaken Tobias into P10. Great effort by the reserve for the Williams team for tonight. And that's currently 10th position and 1 championship point. Endo is going for it. And he is into 11th once again. He has been in that position at the start. And you can see that both Rising and Jamie, who will be once again inside the DRS of a car ahead, have charged up their batteries beautifully. And Karim is now down by 2 seconds to the next car ahead. Let's see if the soft tires of Wong will be dying out soon, and if he is opting for the pit lane in the next couple of laps. Can only imagine that the medium guys will pit on lap 12 to 14 and softs probably 9 to 11 maybe, as there's a spin from Tobias, but there's a move into P1 from Rising, and Lucas has made it past. Has he made it past? No, he has not made it past. Jim Wong. Is there a chance for Prof now? On the Aston Martin. Slight tap to the rear diffuser. And Jim is struggling with these tires. And Lucas goes to the inside of turn number 12. And that's a huge move by the Aston Martin. And there is a pit stop for Jim Wong, as we wait to see what the new option of tires his team will put on, and I would assume that's the hards. He couldn't overtake Master, and there's a 3-second time penalty for the first time in this race, and that's to the name of Enduro, as Prof now makes it past Lucas and is now the next guy hunting Karim with a 1.6 second gap. If they in this fight, these three with Prof, Lucas and Tizik can make it that they boost each other to gain an advantage of Karim, who is not under pressure from anyone, but has also no one who's boosting him through the dirty air. Or basically the slipstream effect is currently not enabled for him, as Kramer and Andrew are battling it out for P10. Jim Wong has re-entered the race 6 seconds behind Michael in P13. And there's an attempt from Rising to boost his lap time by the ARS charge he has had throughout the time he was behind Glücksbirne, but these V-carbs are also managing their battery, and Prof is currently closing up on Karim. The gap is down to 1.2 seconds, and he has not been overtaken or even attacked by some of these two drivers behind us. Thomas receives the second 3-second time penalty. He is currently in P9 and Kramer is behind him. Mike is into the pit lane on his first and probably only stopping soon after Jim. Maybe he sees the chance of a great undercut, as Solid is now free. He is already 3 laps on these tires. Rising into the 4th and final DRS zone of this 9th lap of this race. 21 to go, and these V-cubs are following him like shadows, and Prof has been overtaken by Red Bull of Tizik. Let's see who pulls the trigger here first inside of this battle for best of the rest, and it is Tizik who we are watching right now. And Lucas has followed that. He is answering Red Bull, so they are a tiny bit earlier than I expected them to be. And currently that is another 3-second time penalty for Endo, but it is currently the gap for the leaders and where they will be coming out. And as you can see, I'd say there's roughly a 22-second pit time loss, so roughly where Jim Wong is, and that's a good undercut by the Williams driver, as the Michael has received another time penalty in this race, and that's Glücksbirne into P1 into the braking zone of turn number 9, and there's Endur passing Thomas. It's McLaren against Alpine, and there's a white moment for the car ahead, and that's Kramer, and he's dropping down and has to give these positions to the cars which are following closely, and V-Carb is splitting the strategy, and that's actually an undercut attempt on the second guy, and that's Rising, obviously. And that seems to be like 2019 Mercedes against 2018 Mercedes, sometimes against Aloni, Vettel when Kimi had not so great races. And Jamie is coming out ahead of Jim Wong by 2 seconds. There's another pit stop for Chawan, and there's a yellow flag, and that's... who's that? That's Thomas? Yeah, that's Thomas. And Lucas will also jump the top 2 right now. No, hang on, the gap was 20 seconds. Lucas has received a 3-second time penalty, once again suffering from these track limits, so I think the gap is actually 20 to 19 seconds maybe in the pit lane. And there's Rising Moon overtaking Glücksbirne into into turn 11. Jesus Christ, I get them mixed up. Endo into P6. Still fighting for position. Glücksbirne into the pit lane, and Rising Moon stays out, so this lap counts. And he needs to get a move on. Let's see where the teammate of the V-Carb is currently coming out. Rijat, who started on the hards, is currently up into 2nd position, and more people are pitting. And these two are probably going side by side. So there's a lockup from Glücksbirne. Jamie can capitalize off of that, and he's into 2nd once again. But these two have been playing the team game even in qualifying. And that's a good and strong showing for them, because they are trying to beat Mercedes in the constructors. And there's a moment for Wong, who's now under pressure from Tizik and Lucas, who are going side by side into turn 5, and the Aston Martin stays ahead. And currently that's roughly the group where Rising Moon will come out. And if he overuses his tires, and Glücksbirne once again into 4th position, if he overuses his tires, he's gonna be having some trouble at the pit exit, and one of the worst pit exits as well. And there's a pit stop now for the Mercedes driver, as Tizik has now overtaken Wong, and Lucas has moved past them. Chawan with the 2nd time penalty, and just realized Tizik is onto the mediums once. Oh god! Oh, there's a moment! There's a moment by Lucas. And what about the front too? Rising is coming out now, but he's losing out to both V-Carbs. He has been dropped by them. His tires are now 1 and 2 laps younger than the respected opponents ahead of them. Then both of them opponents in front of him respectively, so that maybe makes more sense. And Lucas is down to P10 after that spin, and has a 3-second time penalty to his name as well. Kramer and Rijat haven't pitted. There's a huge gamble going on for Kramer on the safety car. And Jamie is back past Glücksbirne once again. Huge moment there. And now maybe one V-Cup is defending the Mercedes off to make sure they secure a 1-2. And Kramer's now into the pit lane as Mike is fighting Thomas. Jamie with the fastest lap. And there's a moment! Thomas is off in turn 13. And Tizik has opted for a 2nd medium stint. That is somewhat baffling to me. 4 laps old. We will see if that does anything for him. He's currently pulling Wong alongside him. Karim is in 8th after pit stops. Well, technically 7th. While these two are just boosting each other with the DRS, and whoever is faster on the straight will be going ahead, and you can see that's 11% on the V-Cup of Glücksbirne right now. No chance for Wong to overtake someone, but Endo has made it past Thomas. Alpine has a miserable showing, starting at good positions to secure some points, but currently P14 and P15. As Solid is trying to recover points. 1.9 seconds ahead of him is the next car in Kremer. He's pitted for the hard slate, yeah. Just gonna keep the penalties here. 6 for Endo, 3 for the rest. In Thomas, Lucas, Michael, and Shawan. Tobias is currently being chased down by the Aston Martin in P17, as there's a 12-second gap to the next car in front. And Wong is leading Tesik into the third sector. At the end of the second sector is Glücksbirne is now back into third position. These two are using their charge a lot, and they have closed in on Rijat, who's just moving out of the way, and that is very respectfully by the reserve driver, who could have done something for Wong, but is not attempting anything here. So he is pitting immediately after this, and is going to his medium stint to the end of the race, and he will be looking to re-emerge inside the top of the midfield. And Wong has now received a 3-second time penalty and will surrender that position to Tesik and to Prof even. And Karim is also on the verge of closing in on the Kicksauber, as Kremer has now established the position for the rejoining Williams, who's currently on the fast. And there's a 3-second time penalty for Jamie at the top, so it's once again between Glücksbirne and Rising Moon. And now Rijat has the freshest tire on the grid as the V-Cup swap again. Rijat has the freshest tire on the grid with fresh mediums, and let's see and wait what he can do. Karim into P6 and Rising Moon into P2, as he has overtaken the first of the V-Cups, who will be in third position anyways right now. Tesik needs to get a move on. He has someone on way older, on tires that are way older than his, and he is attempting that now. Also, he probably needs to pit again. Not sure. Yes, so he was only on mediums for both of his stints. So there was a spin, and Rising Moon has made it past Glücksbirne. I didn't expect that to be going down for turn 3, especially as he's probably prone to counter attack by both of them, because they are very close behind. One of them has a third of his charge, and one of them is two-thirds of his charge. So no movement here at the top. But for Prof and Karim, Prof is back into 6, and Wong is better than Tesik, and there's a spinning Ferrari, and that's Tobias down into 17th now, as we still have every car running. So we approached lap 80 now, and there's a pit stop for Tesik, who will be going to softs now. That's only... no, that's hards. What? It's an odd strategy to me, I have to be honest. Rijat has overtaken Tesik while he was pitting. Let's go back to the... oh, there's a 10-second Speeding penalty for Vasti, who's currently into the pit lane once again. And Glücksburner showed himself there. And Jamie is currently unable to follow as close behind as he did previously, but all of them on low ES charge. So this is high tense situation till the end of the race. Currently promoted into 4th position as Glücksburner has retaken P1 with has retaken the fastest lap, but there's a pit stop for Jim. And he goes onto a set of mediums. Is this a 2-stop race? What am I seeing here? 10 laps on hards? Or has just Jim Wong just completely destroyed his tires? Didn't feel like he wanted to race the hards to the end? What is going on? Is his teammate in Reject way better on tire management now? There's no move here by any of these drivers. Is there a move for Karim? 7 laps on the mediums for Tesik on his second stint, and he's going to the hards now for roughly 11 laps. That would be great for racing if it's a 2 stops with 2 mediums and a hard. Reject has overtaken Kramer as Thomas takes 11th away from Michael, but he has more time penalties. And Endure gets another one. 12 already. Wow. Top 3 stay within that 3-way fight. They are going at it. Interested to see what Wong's strategy was now, because he was probably being in a charge for P6 there, because maybe his teammate would have caught him up, but he has just overtaken Thomas. Is there a chance for Michael to get past? Yeah, Michael has the opportunity to pass Thomas into turn 3. I wonder how the warning situation is looking for the top 2, as Prof is up into 4th position once again. These 2 are fighting it out until the last lap, I would assume. I'm honestly interested to see what the tire situation is now. Was that just a stupid Cobalt 1 driver? Maybe 2, Tesik and Jim Wong, to go on another set of a different tire, and there's a spin for Endure. That could be VSC if he stays there too long, waits for the Mercedes to get past him. Solid Ninja Snake, who's currently in P13 and won't be benefiting for some of these penalties. Endo's race is probably over. Even a safety car would result in him losing too many positions to guys behind without or less penalties. Glücksburner moves into P1 again on lap 21, and I will be currently P4 for Karim, as he has re-overtaken the Kicksauber. These 2 are battling losing time to the front, but I don't think their head is with this race, and that's fastest lap currently for Glücksburner, just a bit faster than Rising Moon's one, but he needs to be sure that there was no warning on the lap, because other than that, it's invalidation, an invalidation of the fastest lap for him, as Michael has violated the rules of track limits once again and is up to 6 seconds of time penalties, as the top 3 once again hit the brakes for turn 3. Is there a pass for Prof? Let's see what Jim is doing. Currently behind Tizik. And Kramer has... Oh, Lucas has spun! Lucas has spun again! And he's losing out massively. 22, lap 22 for Lucas. That is not working for him. And Rising Moon has received a 3-second time penalty, and that's the win for Glücksbirne if you can keep it on the black stuff. And that's big for Jamie because he can get second place. They need to make sure that he's in a position to overtake him. But currently the gap has been opened up by 8 tenths. 9 tenths already. And do another 3-second time penalty. Who cares? He's collecting them like Pokemons. And there's another one for Lucas. Fast, but can't keep it on a track. In more than one sense. Because he has spun twice now. I wonder what the plan here with the Williams is. He has a bit fresher tires. And Tizik is on 7 lap old hards. Solid into 12. And Rijad is on the back of Kramer, but they won't be getting further ahead than that. I would think so. And there's a spin for Endure. That's probably damage to the rear wing of the McLaren here. Front right end plate is missing as well. Rijad into 6th position is Jim Wong following his temporary teammate for tonight. He is, and now he's trying to re-overtake someone for 6th position as he's been for the whole of the race, if you include his penalties. And there's a spin and there's a virtual safety car because Endo has once again retired from a race, and there's a pit stop for Rijad. Williams is onto something with the strategies tonight. And Endo has crashed. Soft tires for the Williams. More people have pitted. There's Tizik also. He's on a free stop now. Yeah, that's interesting. They won't lose so much time. And the gap has... Oh no, it's a full course safety car. There's a yellow dot on the map. Yeah, thank you very much, game, for not telling me that. Sorry, I didn't watch the track the whole time. That's a full caution safety car. Bro, just tell me. Okay, thank you very much. So that's a sprint to the finish. It's a sprint race to the finish. And more people are pitting. Chawan as well as Tobias. And there's Rising into the pit lane. Glücksbirne into the pit lane. Jamie into the pit lane. Karim is slowing it down. So everyone who has penalties is gonna lose out. And the rest is just gonna improve positions probably. So Solid Ninja Snake, sorry, can once again jump up positions massively by just keeping it on the black stuff, and that might be some crucial points for Mercedes, even though his teammate is probably not gonna be getting the full 25 or more. Pole position also went to Jamie, so that's his 1 point secured at least. And that's new hard tires for Prof? I can understand mediums because the softs are very hard to understand in this game, but that is a interesting call, to say the least. Maybe we have the chance to ask him that after the race. So let's check penalties again. So Kramer is currently, if they stay closely behind, is currently promoted into second position. And Karim would be third, and I can tell you that the chat would like that, because there have been some supporters here tonight who would like to see him maybe finish the race in the position where he started it. 6 seconds for Mike and Lucas are gonna probably mean they will lose out on points paying positions. And Chawan as well as Vasti, who had a miserable race after an early spin on his hard tires. He's trying to recover a bit. 6 positions down, 7 for Lucas. 9 up for Rijad. 7 for Kramer. Only Prof, Thomas and Tobias have kept theirs. Jimong also up 4, but he's probably gonna drop down. Tires once again, Kramer. Oh, Kramer didn't pit. Oh. Yeah, not too sure about this strategy, but Hannah Schmidt is probably gonna shout in your ear very soon. Or maybe she was the one making the strategy, not sure. Yeah, Wong didn't pit, but that's understandable because, yeah, he's probably gonna lose positions anyway. I can get that. Fresh hearts for Prof is interesting, as I said before. And we probably have another lap of the safety car because Hasti is still 15 behind Tobias, who's still 6 behind the safety car gap. Yeah, and then there's fresh mediums for a couple of guys, including Lucas in 12th, 13th, Solid Ninja Snake, and P10 Michael. The rest is on fresh softs. Ah, that's surely another lap. So it's 2 laps of racing. At the end of lap 27, the safety car will peel into the pit lane and say, okay, Rising, you got the control of it, make the best of it. And this is an interesting one for V-Cup now, because there's going to be 1 lap of DRS, and they could decide to swap the cars to let Jamie attack Rising, because Glücksbirne is gonna inherit the win anyway if he doesn't fuck it up. So it's really about Constructors' Championship points between Mercedes and V-Carb, or Racing Bulls, whatever you like me to call them. And that's basically 18 against 15 points. Jamie has secured 1 point for the pole position, and there's also a chance for someone to improve on the sorry, that's the wrong button, on the fastest lap time of Glücksbirne, which is probably gonna be beaten by someone who has maybe a big slipstream inside the midfield, or even one of the top 3 guys. The fuel is on its last legs for this race. Times are gonna be tumbling for most of these drivers, even if there's fighting at the end of the last lap. I'm just gonna leave the interval and the time penalties, as now it has changed to safety car, but it's coming in anyway at the end of this lap. As I said before, 2 laps of racing is a guarantee for this game, and you will be foolish to miss out on this final showdown for the 3rd race of AOR Season 28 PC main tier number 1, as we see Rising Moon controlling the pace already. The safety car is pulling into the pit lane as soon as the safety car line has been reached. It's full control of Horizon Moon. We can see his telemetry and he has pulled the trigger and it's racing under green flag here in Melbourne, down under. And let's see what the V-Cubs decide to do. Don't be irritated by the top left sign of the safety car. There's Richard with his 3-second time penalties. Movement here at the back. Kramer is probably gonna be overtaken by Karim into turn number 3. And they need to get moves on because they want to be capitalizing off of the front runners' penalties. There is, as I said, DRS for the final lap. And there is a 1 second gap from Jim Wong to Jamie already, so he is defenseless. Didn't expect anything else with new medium tires, with older medium tires against fresh softs to get anything done there. And there's Richard making it past Kramer, but Tesik is being blocked by his teammate into turn 11 there. So that is not clever, I feel. And there's a lot of ES usage by Rising, who's setting the fastest lap on the final lap of the race. But that could be too soon because there's DRS now and there's a high chance Glücksspin is gonna take this on the final lap as Karim is now blocking everyone else behind as he has overtaken Jim Wong into third position, into the first corner. As Vasti is making it past Chavan. No, they're racing each other. Mike is racing Kramer, is now down to P6. That was a wide moment for Glücksspin, probably one of his only warnings here. Let's see if the V-Cub can make it past the Mercedes on the final lap of what has been a great showdown between these two drivers. Glücksspin is into first position. Just keep it on the black stuff and try to improve on your fastest lap time. Rising is there, has no chance of doing anything. If there's a mistake, Jamie can capitalize off of it as Karim and Prof are battling at the background. Prof has the inside line. Karim is making it around the outside. Glücksspin is coming across the line to get back-to-back wins in this season. He's barely overtaken there. Karim in front of Prof. Now Jim Wong has been demoted. There's Richard. There's Solid Snake. And everyone else has finished the race. We have to see what the final result means because everyone had penalties, a lot of movement. But there's a certain recognized winner once again. And it is Glücksspin to take the Australian Grand Prix. Congratulations once again. That's the third place finish for Jamie. And that's huge points for V-Cub. Please load faster tonight. I'm sorry I have to skip this. I want to see the final result. Sometimes that's buggy. That's actually a faster lap for Rising Moon. That's big points for him. That's another extra point. For him that's 19. Karim is 4th, Prof is 5th. Then it's Tesik on a free stopper to finish it out in 6th. Then it's Kramer in 7th. Jim Wong down to P8 and Richard makes a fantastic comeback from 17th to P9. I don't know how the game thinks that Kramer has done a better job. Tobias goes up into P10 to score Ferrari's first point because Solid Ninja Snake has received a 3-second time penalty in the last stages and everyone here had time penalties, as you can see. Chavan is 16th, Thomas, Michael and Pasti, and there's Lucas in 12th, and they all lost out there at the end. And let me get these incidents here. If the drivers need it for any ticketing or whatsoever. Yeah, let's get some interviews going. Richard finished P8. And maybe Prof as well. P5. Yeah, okay. Let me get you to a quick break. and I will be back soon. We are back for some drivers' interviews for tonight's Australian Grand Prix for AOR Season 28 for main PC Tier 1. And on the microphone, for a second time in a row, we have Glücksbirne, who is taking this win tonight. Congratulations on this great performance. You kept it on the black stuff, Rising Moon didn't, but you had a great scrap throughout the race and also had your teammate in there for the whole time. How was the race from your perspective tonight?
Well, the race was pretty fine. Like the main goal of Jemmy and myself was just to break the DRS like at the beginning of the race. And from then on, it was just like trading places because of the 4 DRS zones to get away from those behind. So yeah, the 3 seconds in the hand helped me for winning this race, of course. But I got 2 in the end, and yeah, we will take those points this weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned there how you try to make the teamwork, make the dream work tonight. There was a moment in the qualifying I wanted to talk about. Was it intended by you two to make sure you are closely matched as you were on the first run there? Because that seems like a lot of dirty air for the driver behind. But at the end, that's probably a lot of slipstreaming for basically these 4 DS zones, right?
Yeah, I think Australia is a track where you can afford to try slipstreaming in quali because like there are like such long straights, and we just tried it. Jamie and I just tried it out once before having the race with me being in the slipstream of Jamie, and then on the second run I offered Jamie if he wants to, and he said yes, and then we tried it again, and on the third round, just everyone is doing for themselves. We didn't improve because like in the end of the second sector, I lost already 2/10 because of slipstreaming. So, and I messed up the last corners, and in the end, it wasn't a faster lap, but it was working for us, so we'll take this.
Yeah, and that's also an extra point for a teammate there as well. One final moment from the race I wanted to talk to you about was the safety car bringing everything to a halt, and obviously Rising and your teammate being on the same amount of time pennies. Was there a moment where you thought I'm gonna win this anyway. Maybe Jamie needs to get a move on and try to maybe overtake him on the last lap to secure 1-2 finish here, or was it too risky to try to achieve that?
About the Jamie question, I think you can ask him on his own later.
Okay.
But like about like when the safety car came out, like I was happy when the virtual safety car came out, but because of the gap the three of us had on the guy in fourth,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get a safety car at all because we were like just in front, and like now we have to like give up all this time we gained on those behind us, and yeah, and my thinking the whole race until from the moment Rising got the penalty was like just like keep it clean, don't get any warnings, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, let's have a look forward to the next race that is going to be going on in 7 days' time. That's in Monaco. How much of a chance do you think do we have there to take pole and maybe the win after 39 laps of racing in Monte Carlo?
I don't know, honestly. Everything can happen. Safety car, I think it can happen. That can change the strategy. And yeah, I think it's just about consistency for 39 laps. Yeah, and stay out of the walls, don't get any time penalties. Yeah.
Okay. Then thank you very much for your insights, and let's speak to you for the next time in 7 days' time in Monaco.
Yep, bye-bye.
Unfortunately, Rising didn't make it to the interview room, but we have our second V Carb, or Racing Bull, as you would like to call them. And Jemmy, congratulations on your third place tonight. Obviously, same question to you. The last moment after the safety car, was there thinking of you going on, hey, let me go past him and we can make this a 1-2, or was this out of the options?
When the safety car came in, it was more let's pull away from the pack and ensure that we don't lose more places and give the pack time to close up to us. So rather than battle it out for second, I'd rather take third and guarantee third over potentially dropping down to P6, 7 or 8 with the penalties.
Yeah, that's good thinking there as well. Let's talk about the qualifying there as well from your side. Did you think there was more time in for your final position there and the final timing when you tried to go for final run on your own?
Yeah, there was. I was only half a tenth down at the end of sector 2, and I messed up the chicane and the rest of sector 3 on the pole lap in the end, but there was time in there. So yeah, there would have been time, but it still got pole, so it was good.
Yeah, that's the most important thing there, as there's an extra point for that. Throughout the race, there was closely matched between you three at the top, and then when there was safety cars, people behind pitted early, trying to go for undercuts. Your gap was quite large there with the top three, so still the one who pulled in first was you, and you jumped everyone. How do you think your tires were lasting throughout the race when you do these undercuts when it comes to strategy?
So I knew the hards would be fine, and they were, but my mediums were struggling. I had an aggressive setup at the beginning, and my rear left was cooking, so that's why I boxed. I was beginning to struggle. The hards were fine, but I mean, I lowered the wing up, and that is probably what got me the penalty in the end, because I just couldn't push that fast right as hard anymore.
You have finished on the podium for the second time, and that's the second time also in P3 in 3 races. Do you think there's more to your result in Belgium than we know of? Because you were seemingly in the run for the top positions in qualifying throughout the first 3 races, and obviously that's going to have an impact on your position in the next race in Monaco as well. Do you think you're just trying to go back to consistency is key and make sure you close out enough points until the end when we hit Interlagos?
Yeah, Belgium was a weird race. I had 2 wing changes, and the game didn't tell me I had wing damage. I don't even know where the wing damage has come from because I haven't touched a barrier. But that whole Belgium race was a mess. But you know, let's just keep getting podiums and see where I finish. Yeah, by the time I get to Brazil.
Obviously, quick question for you as well on Monaco. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think you can re-accomplish a pole position there?
I'm on pad, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Oh, you're on pad. Okay.
Yeah, it's my least favorite track by a long way. So
I can imagine that after I race myself. Okay, wishing you the best of luck, and let's see if your team can achieve another great points-paying position next time. Thank you very much for the interview, and let's move on to the next car, and that is Prof in P5 for tonight. Congratulations on your great result for tonight. You had some struggles in the first two races, being involved in collisions throughout Spa and Imola. Now you've achieved 10 points tonight. How do you feel after that race?
Pretty good. The race was clean, very enjoyable, and yeah, like you said, the first two races got caught up in some collisions, but I'm just trying to learn the grid. And it was just a bit unfortunate, especially in Belgium, getting the massive wing damage on the restart of the last safety car. I think one of the McLarens just got wheel spin. But tonight it was overall clean and quite sweaty. I only had one little hairy moment by myself. It was out of turn 4 or 5. I just touched the grass on the outside, and that kind of made my car wiggly, and I hit the wall. Just got very, very minor wing damage. And then 2 laps later, the safety car came out. So that was sort of a blessing in disguise. But even if the safety car didn't come out, P5 was pretty much locked up. And then when I pit under the safety car, I was deciding between used softs and new hard tires. And I decided on the hard tires because I felt really comfortable on them throughout the race, and thought, it's going to be kind of, close pack racing the final 2 laps, and just took my chances, and it paid off. Almost got P4, but Tash raced really, really well, and his wheel-to-wheel was pretty fantastic today, so just 1/10 off of P4. But I think, there's definitely more to come, and today was definitely more of my true pace, my true racecraft. The setup was really, really good, and I felt like I was able to just have a better pace than a lot of the guys in front, especially on the medium tire in the first stint. So hopefully we can carry that momentum into Monaco, which is one of my favorite tracks, and then to the rest of the season.
Okay, you answered a lot of questions there for me as well. Just picking on how close and that's fine, the qualifying was there. We had the top 4 being inside close range there, but at the end, most of the people didn't improve on their final runs. How was the qualifying pace looking for you, and do you think there was still some places to be gained, because you were only within P5? 2/10 away from that. So how do you feel that a better qualifying position could have maybe set you up for great pace tonight?
Qualifying is not my strongest suit, and I think there was maybe only 1/10, maybe 2/10 if I really sent it in. But I invalidated on the final sector, just running wide after the last DRS zone. So I was pretty happy with qualifying. It's never been my strong suit, so I was really counting on the race pace and more of like a race setup to make those places. But then again, here you have like 4 DRS zones, so it's really hard to make passes unless you're just really, really committed and drain your battery down one of the straights and pass. But then you're vulnerable. So quali was okay, I guess. I was happy with it.
Okay, then looking forward to Monaco, you said as well. What do you think is achievable for you there? Do you think maybe a lack of qualifying pace is going to hurt you there, or do you just think just a great track for me, I'm just going to put it together when it comes down to the crunching time in in the qualifying next week?
I'm not really sure. Qualifying is not my strongest suit, but at the same time, I really like street circuits, and that's definitely my forte. But running in cockpit cam is kind of a hindrance for Monaco. You can't really see the wall, or you can see the walls once you hit them, but it's hard to, I guess, really use all of the track in cockpit cam without getting wing damage. So I'm not really sure. It's going to be a hit or miss next week.
Okay, and I'm wishing you the best of luck, and thank you very much for your insights. And we are moving to Red Bull number 1. That is in P6 for tonight, Tizik. congratulations on your 6th place tonight. There was an interesting bit of strategy going on. Wanted to pick your brains on that. There was a second medium stint, if I'm not mistaken, early into the race, and there was a even shorter second medium run after you pitted for another set of hard tires. What were your thoughts on the strategy here for Australia tonight?
Hello?
We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I thought I was getting held up in that midfield pack, that fight going on. It was like 3 to 4 cars in front. So I felt like I can probably just do maybe a 2-stop, go up to another set of mediums, try to gain some distance, probably catch up again on the hards. But, to my surprise, after I pitted again to the hards, I wasn't really catching as fast as I thought I would. So that was kind of an eye-opener. And then when the safety car came out, again, I was like, should I pit for softs, try to catch up to positions? I thought we would have more laps to race than 2 by the end, but I guess safety car said no. But yeah, after that, it's just, you know what, forget it. Go to the softs, try to, go as fast as possible, see if we can make up some positions. I'm glad to get P6 where I started, so I didn't really lose anything, but definitely could have got up the field, I think, without the fighting in the midfield.
Yeah, there was a bunch of battles going on there throughout the race, and everyone on different tires at the end there as well. Made it hard to get past people. You finished 3rd, 4th, and 6th now. That's a good opening 3 races there. Do you expect more of a performance peak for better races down the season, or do you think that's just a good start and you can build on it to build up consistency? And as we all know, that is key throughout a season.
Oh yeah, really. I think it's a really good opener, especially from. I still kind of had that issue with qualifying. I can't really get that one lap together, but my race pace is about way faster than my qualifying pace. So it really hinders when I start, in the middle back, when I can have the pace of maybe the top runners. Not all their pace, but definitely within maybe half a second or so. But yeah, definitely got some more performance coming. I like Saudi a lot. A lot of my tracks I like are a lot on this in this season. Not Monaco though. I hate Monaco.
Yeah,
I always hit the walls.
Speaking of Monaco, you just said you hated it. Still, you need to make sure that one of these races is not going to hurt you in the long run. What do you do to maybe get some practice on board to make sure you stay off of the walls for 39 laps?
Yeah, so usually I'll just run race setups to feel comfortable, but since, Monaco is usually, 1 in qualifying, I'm just going to just pretty much put a qualifying setup on, adjust it a little bit, try to my hardest to get top 5, hopefully, and just go from there. Just manage it. As it's pretty much hard to pass unless you get undercut, really.
Yeah, and don't forget if there's a surprising chance of rain. Okay, speaking to you next time, I hope, and have a good one until then. And that is it for tonight's Grand Prix from Australia. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you like this, make sure you leave this channel a sub, and make sure you tune in for next week's race as we come back to Monaco for race number 4 in season 28. Congratulations again to the podium, and we will be signing this off now. And see you next time. Have a good one. Ta-da!